Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here at the West Efford High School to see West Efford versus Sterling in the second match of the year. I'm joined by Coach Jason Morrell. How are you on this fine evening?
Doing great, Ryan. Excited to be back with you. Feels like yesterday we were sitting in a chair here watching the Eagles dismantle the Tigers of Lower Cape May. Excited to see how much better they've gotten in the last 2 or 3 days here.
Definitely. I mean, as you always say, 1% better. It doesn't need to be astronomical, but it could just be little improvements here and there, better footwork, stuff like that. To just see this team improve overall would be amazing.
You know what, Ryan? I want to see some of the young guys. We're a young lineup, and I want to see some of these young guys learn lessons from some of the mistakes, win or lose. You know, sometimes you say, I want to see them learn lessons, and they automatically think it's lessons from a loss. When in reality, I just want to see whether you won on Tuesday night or you lost on Tuesday night, what did you learn, and can you ensure that you've corrected that mistake? Because one of the biggest issues that hold athletes back from their greatest success is making the same mistake twice. So we want to see that those youngsters learn from those mistakes.
Definitely, and we're going to have to see if they can kind of put that loss behind them. They got to learn for it, but they also got to put it behind them. Can't think about it too much and just get ready to wrestle the next match ahead of them.
Absolutely. Got a very veteran Sterling team rolling in here tonight. And I know Coach Iraldi and Coach Shields and Coach Spector had the Eagles absolutely locked in regardless of the opponent. But this is a dangerous squad. They're 1-0. They had a solid win the other night over Audubon, 40-30 in a Colonial Conference matchup. And they're going to come in hitting on all cylinders, I'm sure, as we get ready for this JV match to get rolling.
And here we are about to start with our first match. We have Chris Hansen from West Efford versus Nasir Rivera from Sterling. Chris Hansen, a very flexible and lanky wrestler. You know, he does have that length to him, and his wrestling style you can see. He's very speedy, very strong. Getting a quick takedown right there, hoping to get behind. Needs to get that leg free to get the 2 points, and there it is, nice 2 points quick.
These two guys look like mirror images in terms of their body composition. Two lanky, long guys. Nice job by Chris with the quick go behind.
Definitely, and he's still keeping that dominance, has him on his back already. Bad position for him right now, though. Bringing it right back, trying to get him to his back. Chris is definitely the dominant wrestler right here. Needs to hook that head to get a very good pinning combination.
Again, Riley, we commented on this on Tuesday night, but I love the fundamentals that the young Eagles are working with here. Fishing halves, nonstop, out working the opponent. A lot of little things, nothing cute, just straight ahead fundamental wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, pure wrestling. You see it a lot in college. A lot of college wrestlers, they have their bread and butter. They have their one move they go to, and they don't really fly too far from it. And a lot of the wrestlers we see here are really following across that.
And there's that half that clearly this entire team, has been taught very well, because last week.
And there's a pin already by Chris Hansen.
Yikes.
In a weird pinning combination, he had him kind of locked behind his head. There we go.
The rule is that both shoulder blades of the defensive wrestler need to be parallel to the mat for a 1 second count. That was close, but like we started the other night, man, it looks like the beginning of the 2021 wrestling season is going to be Pin City.
Definitely. I mean, almost all pins for JV yesterday, besides a couple of losses. And varsity, they did a very good job keeping people on their backs, getting quick pins. Now here we see James Lorman versus Max Lopez. James Lorman, again, we were talking about him on Tuesday. Doesn't look very strong, but again, is another very strong wrestler, as is the whole entire team.
I love James's technique on Tuesday night. It was tight. It was clean. He committed to things. He committed to the outside single right there.
Quick single right there with a 2-point takedown. Trying to work for that cradle. Just trying to get a breakdown right now. Keep this kid on the mat. Keep his hips on top to get a move going.
I'll tell you what, Riley, the one interesting thing about this season is that in a normal season, the varsity squad is usually in the auxiliary gym, warming up, getting loose, not paying attention to the JVs. This year with the varsity team in the stands, acting almost as spectators or as students at a regular match, the JV match has taken on kind of a life of its own in terms of creating momentum going into the varsity match. I mean, there's a lot of juice in the gym on Tuesday night for that JV match, and it set the tone for the varsity match.
Definitely. It's fun to see the varsity wrestlers out here supporting JV because, like you said, they used to go in the Aux gym and just wrestle by themselves, get ready. But now they're out here locking in, but still supporting their teammates at the same time.
Like to see James get underneath here and just, continue to work his halves. Like that he's attacking the wrists. As you know, last time I'm a big wrist guy, but I mean these youngsters on the JV squad seem to really love half Nelsons.
He's trying to get that power half right now. Gets it in, needs to run it, reset his hips, keep his chest on top of the other opponent's chest, and stay there, get both of his shoulders down. And there's another pin for West Efford. Great job by James Lorman getting a nice power half in there.
The one aspect I love the most right now is West Efford's ready to wrestle. It is so easy in a COVID environment. Very little fans, a lot of sitting around, not a lot of energy in the room. It's so easy to allow that to drain you like an energy vampire. You understand what I'm saying? The environment drains you. But these West Efford wrestlers are coming out locked in and firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, very locked in right now as we see James Dursini, one of the most mental wrestlers and football players I know, as you refer to him, Juice Box. Always bringing the juice, always bringing the energy.
Straight energy, man. And,
trying to go for the quick low single right there, gets it, works for the 2 points.
He does get it. I didn't love it. He's crawling on the mat. He shot from really far away, trying to go non-contact. We talked about fundamentals. That might be something he can get away with today. Not something that you're going to get away with if you get thrown into the Wolves in a varsity match. So, like we talked about with James Lorman, I'd rather see James DiRossini, although he got the takedown, I'd rather see him do it in a fashion that's tight and clean and fundamentally sound. Yeah,
definitely. Needs to get in close for those types of shots. Luckily, he did get that low single right there. He's going for a tilt right now. Kind of in an awkward position, but he can get back on top very easily. Still controlling the wrist, controlling the hips. He actually has boots in right now, which is very rare to see from such a short wrestler compared to a lengthier one. But seems to be working it. I know wrestling with him personally, he does like that move.
Yeah, Toomey doing a nice job fighting it off, not giving him anything that he's looking for and making him go in different directions here. You'd like to see Toomey get on the offensive right now and not let James dictate the pace.
Yeah, it seems like James is just kind of dominating. It looks like he is trying to go for that low single again. There it is. Not going to work this time because Toomey does see it. Still just hand fighting. James needs to get in close, lock up, and try to find a single or a double right there. That would be the best move for him right now.
Agreed. And when you shoot from that far away, the next time he does it, Toomey's just going to come down with a forearm on the back of the head and spin behind.
Nice drag down right there, though.
That's a good change-up.
Can we get a replay on that, Bags? Very good drag down right there, as we'll see. Getting right behind him. Very quick move.
Great job pressuring the tricep there.
Definitely. Now we see DiRossini and Toomey back to their feet. Good handwork right there. Another drag by, getting behind him. An easy 2 points. Seems like this might be James' way to victory as the period ends comes to a close. See who'll get the decision right here.
So good job by James learning on the fly there, saying, you know what, my outside or my low single is not working well right now. I'm going to go to the drag. I want to see James not be cute on top here, right? Break him down, break the bottom man down flat, start working wrists. Last Tuesday we talked about he has shorter arms, James does. So if he gets trapped up under there on a claw ride, Toomey might trap that elbow.
Definitely. Right now it seems like Toomey isn't really giving up his arms, so he needs to go for a spiral ride where he'll put his hand on the inside of his thigh and kind of spread him out very easily. It's a very dangerous move not dangerous, but very easy move to perform, and it takes down a lot of people. Here we see him controlling the hips again.
Great job with the hips there.
Controlling the wrist too. Trying to get a tilt, it seems, from here. Maybe a cradle. His moves are kind of weird right now, going back to that bread and butter move, the half, and I think that'll be most likely the best move for him.
Yeah, he's just got to be careful ahead Nelson's because of his short arms. I like that he's working wrists. He just needs to continue to develop that wrist game. There's some really easy things you can do attacking the wrist. He looked like he was jumping out to the side trying to get a corkscrew initially, and Toomey doing a nice job constantly getting back up to his base and giving him a chance to escape and get his points.
Yep, and there it is, an escape by Toomey. Now when you see James still attacking, and we would like to see Toomey attacking too, still kind of backing up. Nasty club there by James, and those clubs are not fun to get hit by. Another low single gives him another quick 2 points. Still riding on top. Seems like James is a very dominant wrestler in this match. Toomey needs to keep working up though. It is tough with James. His hips right on top of him.
let's see if he's going to go to the wrist. Roll that thing, roll your knuckles over the mat, put it on his back, and start working your fundamental wrist game, as opposed to some of the more elite level things.
Here we see the ref.
Be prepared for.
You see the ref calling for the shoelaces. And I believe in more serious varsity matches like states, regions, districts, you will get points given to the other opponent if your shoelaces do come untied. And there it is.
There it is. So that is a technical violation. You must have your shoes tied the entire match. And the rationale for that is back in the day, an easy way to get get stoppage of a match and catch your breath and get a little bit of wind back in you was to have your shoelaces come untied. So too many people taking advantage of that. So now they say, look, you got to tape your laces. A lot of the shoes these days have Velcro on them to Velcro your laces. But if they come undone, it's going to be a technical violation. You're going to give up a cheap point.
Yeah, and that could be the difference between a win or a loss. I mean, it's such an easy point to lose if your shoelaces aren't untied. James going for a low single again, doesn't work out. Gets a nice double right there. 2 points. Still riding on top. Hopefully he'll try to, there it is. Brings it to the end of the period. Toomey seems to have lost his breath from that double, and it did seem like he landed hard on that.
I'll tell you what, he had a shot to score when James took a bad low single right there. Unfortunately, he couldn't commit. James scrambled right into a double. Great switch.
Definitely a great switch right there.
Right now he's got to go to work, so he's got momentum. You hit the switch, go right to work. Get that wrist, roll it, put it on his back, and don't allow Toomey to recover and suck his hips up, which is happening right now.
There he is, working that half again. He needs to get to the side. There it is. Chest on chest. He's a little far up, but he still does get that pin right there.
Three half Nelsons, right? 3 half Nelsons, 3 pins. Put it in the scouting report. West Effort likes halves.
Like I said, it's our bread and butter move. I mean, half works, it works. Just keep throwing it in, keep getting pins. It's easy as that.
Well, that's the coach I rolled. The philosophy is don't do 1,000 things just average. Do one thing 1,000%.
Definitely. Coach Shields over on the sidelines getting very excited for these wins right here. Now we have Joey Barquero versus Kenny Stevens. Now Joey, another football player. Lots of football players on the wrestling team. Very common to see.
Right, lots of multi-sport athletes is what it is. And at a Group 2 school like us where we don't have a ton of kids to choose from, you need your athletes to play multiple sports. And there's no doubt that the football team benefits from their players wrestling and the wrestling team benefits from their wrestlers playing football. And we have some soccer players on this squad. We have some tennis players on this squad, a couple baseball players. So, everybody benefits when you share athletes for sure.
Definitely. And Joey riding on top again, got a quick takedown. He was looking for that half, didn't seem to get it. Looks like Stevens is putting himself in a position, and there it is again, the half. He's keep riding it.
Keeps torquing it. Yeah. Take your time here.
Keep working it. Yeah, take your time with it. Oh, full Nelson right there.
So that's that scenario we talked about on Tuesday, Riley, where you stick that bottom knee in the side. I call it reloading. Keep the half in, put the bottom knee on the side, and bring the defensive wrestler across the bottom knee to open his chest up and sink that half a little deeper. Joey's trying to hop sides real quick and throw the half from the other side. Got caught. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, and a lot of not, I wouldn't say newer, but people don't normally run halves. They need to understand that a half takes time.
Right.
You need to run it slow because they will turn over eventually.
Yeah, good point. You can't rush it. I think he was just wrestling a little too fast for his own body to work there. I do like the pressure that he's putting with his hips and breaking Kenny down. Kenny's got to start getting some hand control here and peeling that hand off the back of his neck to fight off that half.
Yeah, still keeping him down right here. Still looking for that half. He will eventually get it. It'll just tire it out. Now looking for a cradle, a far side cradle. A little bit tougher to get than the near side. And there's the near side right there. Still can't get it. Trying to get the close side. Locks his hands up. Unfortunately, they get broken. Now, if Stevens does get put in that position where he's in a cradle, he just needs to extend his legs and kick as much as he can. Cradle's very hard to get out of, but Joey going for that half again. Needs to keep him inbounds, hopefully. Trying to kill some time.
West Effort not a big cradle team. Generally the longer wrestlers are better at cradles just because their length. Get some back points here. You can pin here.
Definitely a very nice pin. Again, that half. 4 for 4 on the halves.
I'm sorry, right? Sometimes people forget that just because the defensive wrestler is out of bounds, if the offensive wrestler is at any point of his body inbounds, you can still pin with the defensive wrestler being out of bounds.
Yeah, a new rule. A couple years ago, that was definitely not the rule. It would be if you didn't have one of your pivot points down, then they would call you out of bounds. Now it got changed to any part of your body, which is very good for a lot of wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers are edge of the mat wrestlers. Now we have Carter versus Schaub. Carter, another very strong wrestler. We saw it on Tuesday night. Did get gassed a little bit towards the end, but hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. A little bit of extra stamina work. Lots of hand work going on right here. Tries to get a throw by. Get behind right there. Nice one. Nice 2 points right there. Trying to still work in. Looks like he is going for that half again. Trying to get that wrist. Maybe going for something else.
I know we missed our replay bubble, but that would have been a great replay on the go behind there. Great job by Marcus. Wrestling fast, getting his hooks under the armpits and getting his hips behind.
Definitely. And Marcus needs to keep the pressure, needs to keep the strength going. Because Marcus is a very strong wrestler, so he needs to use that strength to his advantage as much as possible. Because not many wrestlers at this level are that type of strong wrestler. Marcus with an untied shoe. Don't know if he'll get the points taken away. Yeah, he won't.
You know, and you said earlier he did get a little bit gassed on Tuesday. And I mean, it was his first wrestling match of his high school career, you know, and nerves get kicking, and next thing you know, you're out of breath. So hopefully he learned that lesson, and he's controlled his body a little bit better tonight. Great job hopping sides.
And now he's working for the wrist right there. Keeps trying to get a breakdown. Needs to really break him down to his stomach so he can keep that pressure on top. A little bit harder for him to do. He is very out to the side right now. Kind of riding high. Yeah,
when Schaub came up right there and exposed his chest like that, was a great opportunity for a tilt. Bury your head in the side there and go. If he gets that opportunity again, I'd like to see him hit that.
Definitely, and he has that leg locked up right now. It's very bad to have one of your legs locked up. Very crucial part to use your legs as much as possible. He's going for a half again, it seems. Trying to keep working that in. Needs to break him back down, get him to his stomach, keep pressure on him. That'll be the key points for his victory.
Schaub's going to fight to get that hand back. Really, I mean, Marcus doing a nice job controlling wrists, and that's the number one aspect that Schaub's going to need free to have a chance to escape here.
Yeah, and he's trying to get a tilt right now. Looks like he is working an armbar, though. He needs to punch that through, get a very good deep armbar in there, but he needs to watch out because it could be a stoppage because of a dangerous move. Looking for a ball and chain, it seems to bring it to the end of the period.
2-0, man. It doesn't feel like 2-0.
No, it does not.
So Schaub keeping himself in it.
Goes to West Efford.
The shoe is going to be an issue.
Definitely. Yeah, the shoelaces are a big problem. A problem you wouldn't think about when you're about to wrestle, but it is a very big one because it could lead to extra points that the other team doesn't need.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about it. If that shoe comes untied again during this match and he gets hit for a point and it's now 2-1, you know?
Yeah,
no matter how much better you are, you're going to get a little bit tighter, get a little bit more cautious and nervous.
So Sterling, I believe they chose neutral, maybe looking for that big throw from Schaub, sorry. Looking to get that big throw.
Nice high crouch.
Nice high crouch right there. Nice slam. If we get a replay on that, that was a very nice takedown right there. Very good form. Lifts it up. Yep. Goes to a double. Right back on top for the 2 points.
Great heel toe knee action right there.
Here we see working a half again. That'll be a pin right there. Again, another pin from a half from West Efford. Definitely a very strong move. And you can see the ref breaking off their hands when they're about to shake hands. New rule, obviously, with COVID. Want to have as least contact as possible. Don't want to be shaking hands.
Yeah, I guess.
It's weird. It's weird. I mean, they're wrestling the whole match, but they can't shake hands. Yeah. I mean.
Hey, man. IAO, right? Improvise, adapt, overcome, roll with it. Fluidity, the name of the game. Whatever you tell us to do, as long as we can wrestle, we're going to do it. So.
Now we have Ramir Vaughn versus Pooler. Ramir, one of the heavier weights up here. Going to see a lot more top and bottom riding because they are a little bit heavier weights. Ramir, though, is pretty fast for a heavyweight. Not like we see much at West Efford. with Mike Griff. Mike Griff is very fast also. We don't see many heavyweights that are slow at West Efford. Most of us are well conditioned. But here we see a lot of hand fighting going on.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, I've had the opportunity to be in the room with Ramir and Jabril, our varsity starter, and talk about guys getting 1% better every day. These two have gotten better every single day, and I'm very excited to see Ramir come out and be aggressive here. He does have some takedown action. He's got a shrug. He's got a Russian, some Russian action. So want to see him use it and not just hang in a collar tie. But when the lights are at their brightest and you're a big guy, it gets a little bit intimidating to start trying to hit offense on your feet.
Yeah, and I wrestled with him last year in the wrestling room, and it was their first year's wrestling. They did need a little bit of that stamina, but it seems like they did gain that. It seems like Ramir has a lot more in him than normal. Trying to go for that double right there.
Trying. Yep. I see. Now, personally, just because he's so big, I mean, I love it when you get those heavyweights that want to come put their forearm on the back of your neck and just start smashing your forehead into the ground. And I'd like to start seeing some of that action from Ramir.
Yeah, he was trying to go for that blast double. Definitely needs some more head contact. Needs to keep working. They do need to keep a low stance. That's something that a lot of heavier weights struggle to deal with, is a good stance, because it is so important. You can't wrestle on your heels also, because that'll lead to a very quick takedown. Ramir's still pushing right here, trying to get his hands on the inside for control. Looks like he's going to try to push that arm out, get a shot. Another blast double right there. 2 points right there. We can get a replay on that. Very nice.
Let's get a replay on that.
Great commitment.
Great commitment. Another one of our football players, and that's promising.
It's a nice tackle right there. Unfortunately, doesn't get the 2 points because it was out of bounds. They continue hand fighting. This will bring us about to the end of the period unless Ramir can get a quick shot in right here. Let's see. Still trying to work that blast double. That seems it'll bring it to the end of the period. Ramir's still fighting though, still trying to go for those shots.
I'll tell you what, Riley, he might not have gotten that too, but what he did get with that is confidence. And that might be more important than the 2 points. You know, he now knows if I commit to a shot, I can get it. And, Fuller here is really going to have to do a nice job trying to regain control in the top position.
Ramir, quick stand-up right there. Outstanding by him. Very quick, getting that 1 point. Trying to go for those shots again. Getting the single leg. Needs a quick trip right here to get the 2.
Settle your hips. There we
go, right to his back.
And he
getting those points right there. And the half. Hoping to get both shoulders down. Let's see.
Had to sink a half. There he goes.
Try to get chest to chest, but it seems like he's going to get that. Yep, there it is. Another pin. Another pin by a half for West Efford. Very well done by Ramir.
Guys are getting better. Riley. It's good to see.
Definitely. Very good. Very good by Ramir.
And, right now you're going to have 2 of our own wrestlers get in. There's certainly a shortage of wrestlers this year due to COVID and whatnot, and trying to get these young JV guys as many matches in the limelight as we can and put them under pressure and things like that. So, we have the opportunity here to have 2 of our guys come out in the mat in a pressure situation and wrestle each other. There's just no other way to learn how to deal with intense situations. So we're very appreciative to have this opportunity to have 2 of our guys wrestle each other.
Yeah, now we have Talon Terranino versus Benner.
That's Terranoni.
Terranoni, sorry. Talon is a very small wrestler, but has a huge heart.
Great hands, too. Also a wide receiver.
Yeah, in football we saw it. He had a lot of heart to him, was always wanted to be on the sidelines, always wanted to help out.
Nate Benner, a boys soccer player, so some bragging rights here for fall sports.
Definitely need to see football come on top, though, I think. But here we see Talon getting the quick. He's on top with that front headlock. He needs to get behind to get those 2 points. Trying to control that arm and that head.
Tough matchup. You got 2 guys that wrestle each other in the room every day, so they know each other well.
There's a quick 2 right there, getting to go behind. Trying to get that the wizard right there to extend him out, lifting out that leg. Having your leg controlled is very rough. It's not fun to have your leg controlled by somebody else because you just can't do anything. You can't do much right there.
No, but Nate doing a nice job keeping wrists free and hands free and giving himself a chance as Talon goes to the far tricep.
Yeah, Talon trying to go for that far side cradle, but Nate breaking it off, still trying to go for that ankle right there to get control again.
I mean, you can just tell, right? You can tell that these guys know each other well. You know, Nate felt that cradle coming from Talon and did a good job putting the arm on the other side and freeing himself. And now he's putting himself into a stalemate position, which is a win for him.
Definitely. He needs to get, if he can bring those legs back to him and then get that double, or just get a stand-up. A stand-up is just as good in this situation. Seems like Talon is still holding on to that ankle right behind, hooking down that ankle with his own leg to stop mobility, controlling the wrist again, something we love to see in wrestlers. Very good wrist control.
Yeah, Nate needs to start moving here on bottom. Roll that wrist free and go. You know, I know that we're teaching put moves together in the room. Chain wrestling. There's nothing better than when we get a couple guys coming out and hitting some chain wrestling, meaning non-stop movement, one to the next, and that's what Nate's got to start doing, is putting moves together, because if you just hang on Talon, he obviously has some riding skills. So,
interesting decision here by Nate, choosing top. Something that our coaches don't really like us to do is choose top, but he might be a very good top rider with those long legs, might be able to get those boots in, get a nice power half in there, as a lot of our wrestlers do on varsity. See, waiting for the ref. So we'll get back into the second period. Talon needs to get a quick stand-up right here, and that'll set him up in a very good 3-0 position. Trying to get the sit-out right there, and
great
a quick
movement.
stand-up.
Great movement.
Reversal right there. Trying to break him back down, trying to get that half in again.
Impressive thigh pry there by Talon. I'm a big thigh pry guy, where you reach across and just torque the inside thigh and take him off his base. And Talon doing some really nice fundamental work here on top.
Yeah, still more wrist control. His hips on top of Nate's hips. Trying to bring that knee up to get another cradle. Might need to go for another half here.
Yeah. There's no way that the Talon should be working cradles here. Just Nate's too big, too long, too strong. Like you said, the problem, though, when you're wrestling one of your own wrestlers, is that we know the halves are coming, and clearly Nate's fighting that off as he keeps wrist control on the other side.
Here it is, the power half again. Oh, breaks it off. Love to see another one of that. Now trying to get the cradle again. Looks like he locks it up. Needs to get to his hip. Again, back points right there.
As he proves me stone cold wrong.
Kicking the leg out right there to stop Nate from bridging out of that. There it is again. Needs to keep his hips on his hips to keep it very well connected, very strong, and very tight.
Good grip strength. Good grip strength there from Talon. Being able to lock that thing up on a bigger guy.
Now Talon keeping pressure on that head, and again, that isn't very fun to have your face shoved into the mat, but it's very good for Talon right here. Still trying to work for the half right here. Keeps trying to extend Nate out, getting those boots in right there, at least one. Trying to control on top. Probably see a power half right here.
No, what Nate wants to do to get that boot out is get both knees together. Yep, here it goes. Get both knees together and throw those boots out. He's based up right now. You got to go. Now you got to go, right? You can't hang, right?
Yeah, you got to get a quick stand-up right here. Talon is not in a great position behind him. So that brings us to the end of the second period, where Talon will have the choice. Chooses down, hoping to get a quick stand-up or reversal out of here. And as a lot of coaches, you'll probably hear it said during this match, just one, not two. If Talon's going to go get that reversal, Nate is better off just letting him go, getting the 1 point instead. But instead we see the regular half Nelson here again, trying to control that wrist. Doesn't get it, still locking up that leg to stop mobility. Trying to go for another power half. Trying to lock it up right here, locks it up, needs to hop out to the side to get a very powerful half in. Still riding on top, seeing what Nate's going to do.
Talon had a tough wrestle off against Anthony Catando, two young, very good freshmen, and in a close one he lost, but clearly coming out here with something to prove and wanting to show his coaching staff and team that under the spotlight he can get it done.
Yeah, I mean, as freshmen, seems like there's very good wrestling going on. Talon very aggressive, and Nate just kind of look for his quick moves to get out.
Yeah, and that's absolutely attributed, obviously, to our own coaching staff, but we have a phenomenal pipeline in West Effort right now between Jimmer Shields, head coach Jimmer Shields at the middle school, and the youth wrestling program, who's just loaded with good people that want the best for this community and its wrestlers, headed up by Topher Vespi and John Chambers, and It's a really impressive pipeline that West Effort Wrestling has going right now.
There's a pin. The first one we didn't see from a half, but instead from a cradle.
Of course.
Very good match, though. Going to the third period. Of course, two West Effort wrestlers, very head-to-head right here. Very good match by both of them. Here we see another West Effort versus West Effort match. We have Nick Graziano versus Andrew Ty. Two very strong wrestlers again. A little bit of blood on the mat, so we'll wait to get that cleaned up. So far, it seems a very well-rounded match between West Effort. I mean, hopefully we'll keep seeing that with the well-roundedness. We want to see wrestlers that are around the same level because we want to see them wrestling each other, getting better with each other, not just one person getting better than the other.
Yeah, no doubt. But the quality of wrestling that's going on right now speaks to what's going on in the room. You know, these guys are working in the room every single day as hard as they can, and they're reaping the benefits of that right now.
Here we see a match get to a start. Immediately trying to drop down his level, Andrew. Trying to get those snap downs real quick, trying to get a nice shot in there. Trying to look for that single leg, maybe a high crotch. Be best to go for probably a single leg because he does have longer arms. There it is, trying to bring it back up. Nick just controlling the head, trying to bring him back down the mat.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation for Graz because of Andrew's length, and Andrew knows it, and Graz is trying to keep his hips away, and Andrew's trying to force it, but this is where Graz wants to be. If you get a longer, taller guy, you want to be on the mat with him and take away that length that he has on your feet.
Graz needs to get back on top here, can't get turned. Andrew has his head locked up, though.
Needs an arm, though. Needs an arm.
Definitely needs an arm, or else it'll be stopped for another dangerous move.
Graz still in control. What Andrew's got to stop, he can't continue to turn into Graz like that because he's going to get caught. I mean, you're turning your back to the mat. If Graz works up right there, he's going to catch you and flatten you out.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew's reaching back, trying to get his turn his weight into Nick, but he's got to remember that he's on bottom right now. Nick still has control. He just needs to get that 1 point to stand out, and then get a quick takedown possibly. But Graz trying to work for that cradle. Lets him up, tries to go for another shot. What you see a lot of wrestlers do is what Andrew just did, kind of take a second to get a breather, but a lot of other wrestlers will capitalize on that.
Oh, yeah, those sharks out there. See you take your focus off for 1 second, and it's lights out. So and here it is. I mean, Andrew's clearly fatigued right here.
Very good double right there.
And this is part of what happens. I would attribute this to some nervousness. I'm wrestling my teammate, I'm on the broadcast live stream, and sometimes your nervousness can have an impact on your cardiovascular system, believe it or not.
Yeah, and Andrew, what he was doing on bottom there, he was locking up his hands, trying to stop him from getting his wrist. But that could be called for stalling eventually if he keeps doing that. So that brings us to the end of our first period. See, Andrew Ty gets the choice. He's going to choose bottom.
I'll tell you what, Andrew Ty grows like 1.5 inches every single day. I swear, he was 5'8" at the start of this year. He's about 6'6" right now. He's getting
very
big.
tall. He's very tall.
Comes from a great family, a long lineage tied to West Effort. The Ties, his grandfather, a Hall of Famer, and went to Nebraska to play football. Also, a state place winner, I believe, in wrestling at heavyweight. And his dad was an all-South Jersey football player for us, a kicker. Also played tight end, DN. So he's got the West Effort blood in him for sure.
Definitely. So does Nick Grouse. Nick Grouse has a lot of brothers that went to West Effort. Joey and Marcus are two that stand out. He does also have a younger brother and a sister. Hopefully watching at home, as I know many of the other viewers are.
So we've been saying Graziano for a long time.
Definitely. A lot of Grazianos in the family line. And then the sister, hopefully she picks up field hockey, starts playing for West Effort. Be killers out there.
Good plug. Oh, Corman. Nice job by Nick
right there by Graz. Let's see if he can get the pin. Needs to keep lifting that head, and it hurts. It gets you out of breath.
Yeah, we need a replay on that.
Definitely a quick replay for the headlock. Let's see.
Yeah, we're going to catch the back end of the replay, unfortunately, but Nick kind of fell into that headlock and took what Andrew gave him. So nice job by Nick, taking advantage of an opportunity that presented itself. Good work.
Here we see after a couple West Effort matches, a West Effort versus Sterling. This is going to be Herrera versus Rivera.
Last match of the night for JVs.
Rivera already wrestling today, and That's just what happens to happen for JV. They get to wrestle 2 matches. Unfortunately, you might be gassing the first one, but you just got to get right back into it, wrestle the second one. And let's see if Rivera can follow through with that.
Big Eric Herrera fan. Eric had an absolute Donnybrook of a wrestle-off with Deron Tinsley. And he is going to be, he came on the losing end of it, but he's going to be an excellent wrestler for us.
Trying to get that double in there, can't get it. Rivera locking up that headlock, the front headlock, sorry. But back to hand fighting on top. Lots of pushing around, which the ref is going to call, tell him to calm down a little bit. You see it a lot in wrestling, a lot of feistiness going on. One kid gets a really hard head club in there, the other starts pushing. Not a very nice sport. Another quick double right there. Not exactly the greatest, but it did its job. Nice blast double. Eric keeping his weight on top, trying to go for that half. There it is. Keeps working it. Let's see if we can get another West Effort pin here by a half.
Nice job.
And there it is. Another quick pin at West Effort with the half right there. Very good way to end the night right now.
Looks like we're going to throw one more JV match in here, right?
Oh, yes, we are. Let's see. See, the coach is talking right now, seeing if they can throw it in there again. 2 West Effort wrestlers again. Another great way to end up another JV wrestling bout. 2 West Effort wrestlers, I mean, love to see it, love to see the competition. See what they can do.
I'll tell you what, Ryan. I'm just looking over. It's kind of tough. You go 10 JV matches, not a lot of fans in the stands. You've been sitting in the stands the whole time. And I'm watching the varsity guys from both teams start to move around a little bit. It's going to be interesting when we get to the varsity match. Who's coming out ready to wrestle? Who's on fire?
Definitely. And here we see Ryan Palvarento versus Jared Lundfelt. Ryan, I see him all the time in the weight room. He's gotten very big since the last time I've seen him.
A lot of cutoff shirts for Ryan Palvarento.
Definitely. Always wearing the crop tops with the cutoffs in the weight room. Always working, though. You never see him just sitting around talking. He's always working. But Jared also a very quick wrestler. Does know what he's doing. He's a very veteran wrestler. Has wrestled for most of his life. Ryan trying to get a quick single here.
Yeah, the Lundfelt family, a lot of wrestling going on. Jared and obviously Trevor, a freshman who's in the starting lineup, and then the youngest brother, I believe, is a 7th grader, 6th or 7th grader down at the middle school that I'm hearing great things about. So good to see him and get the opportunity tonight to get on the mat along with Ryan.
Definitely. And here we see Jared Ryan on top, hopefully getting behind. If he gets his leg back, that'll be 2 for Jared. Ryan still trying to fight it back. Trying to keep his weight back so Jared can't get behind him, but we call it a stalemate. 2 wrestlers back to their feet. A minute left in the first period. Let's hope to see a little bit of hand fighting, a little bit of head clubs. We haven't seen that much tonight. We need some aggression out of these wrestlers, unfortunately, since they are teammates. I don't know if we'll see that, but hopefully they can look past that and just wrestle like they're versing their opponent. Jared gets a quick go behind.
Oh, there's some
a nice
like
rollout by Ryan.
Grammy roll right there.
Right behind. Can we get a replay on that? Nice Grammy roll right there. Let's see. Jared up high. Ryan gets a nice Grammy right there. Gets behind.
Well done.
Brings him back down to the
Needs
mat.
to clear that inside leg a little bit better, but that's a nice job.
Gets the 2. Locked up in a weird position right now for Jared.
Did he get backs right there?
Don't believe he is getting backs right now. He might if he keeps pushing him over. He has a half in, it looks like, right now. He needs to get his leg free so he can hop out to the side. Jared fighting it off very well, though. Still not going to his back, fighting off of it. Jared all twisted up right here, but knowing Jared, he's going to be able to get out of that just like that.
It's a nice job fighting right there. Nice job by Jared fighting off his back right there, refusing to go over.
Very good. I don't think gave up any back points. See what the decision goes to.
This is the old rock, paper, scissors situation. Best of 1.
Ryan chooses bottom, hoping to get another Grammy out of that or a quick sit out, something quick, as we know we just saw Ryan can do. Very quick movements.
Yeah, certainly got to be aware of that, Granby. I'd switch sides, go to the east. Yeah, he wants it.
Yeah, definitely. Gets a quick sit out though.
Oh, nice job.
Nice stand up right there. Ryan right back on the attack, trying to get that double in again. Jared fighting it off very well.
Love that crossface from Jarrett right there.
Trying to drop down low again. Jared seems like he's going to get behind. If he can lock this up, he will get his 2. And there it is. Locks it up, tries to go for the cradle, unhooks it. Ryan reaching back though, grabs the head. Might end up in a headlock right here if you can pull him over.
I know it feels right, but it's not.
No, definitely. 1,000% the wrong move. And there we see Ryan getting a
that's
little
why
bit
you
of
don't
karma
do it.
right there.
That's why you don't do it. I know it always feels right. Like I'm gonna hip heist him over. He's gonna go to his back, but now Jared's got the half in.
Yeah, he's got the full Nelson though, bringing both arms up. Unfortunately, going to be a point for Ryan. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think he got a point for that one. Jared back on top though, with control.
Nice sit out by Ryan last time. See if he goes back to it.
Definitely needs those quick movements, and Jared needs to know that. He needs to know that he needs to keep his weight on top. Jared going for another cradle though. Ryan grabbing that leg. He needs to kick his legs out so he can unbreak that grip. Jared rolling him over though, getting some back points.
Dangerous.
Very dangerous. Jared could have been rolled back over to his own back and get pinned in a self-cradle, which I've only seen happen once in my lifetime, a self-cradle pin.
It happens.
But going right back to that half.
Tough half right there from Jared. A lot of torque. Lots of
back
torque
though, try to get his chest on his chest. But there's another pin.
Man, the complexity of that match changed really quick.
Definitely.
Really
Ryan was going very quick. I mean, all of a sudden changed out of nowhere. Very well done by both wrestlers though. Very well done by all of West Defford. We thank everybody who's watching. Got a couple shout-outs to Josh Gartner. Was upset I didn't give him a shout-out last time. And a couple of my family who's here. And I'm sure a lot of family across the country, if they are that far, are watching right now to see their friends and family wrestle. So we thank you all for watching us. And we hope you stick around for the varsity match later tonight.
Good job, Ryan.